Hi, my name's Vince Sheehan, and today I'd like to talk about An Unearthly Child, the first story in the classic series of Doctor Who, broadcast between November and December 1963. And An Unearthly Child really is a wonderful way for this much beloved TV series to begin. The first episode is absolutely wonderful. We have this opening shot of a policeman going around the London fog, and we're introduced to this rather fascinating child, teenage genius in the person of Susan. We're interested, like her teachers are, in where this girl comes from and how she knows so much about the different subjects. And then, of course, eventually we're introduced to the Doctor himself, who, William Hartnell really shines in this scene. He looks so eccentric and so kind of irritable, and he's a really fully formed character when we first see the Doctor. It was really quite marvellous. And he was also quite unlikable as well in some points, which I really like about his portrayal of the Doctor. And then we have the TARDIS, of course, itself. And you can't help but think how wonderful this episode must have been to those who watched it back in '63, to be introduced to this whole new world, this whole new character, this time machine, and the possibilities that this series would hold in store. So the first episode is absolutely marvellous. And then episodes 2 to 4, we have the story proper, where the Doctor and the companions go back to the dawn of time, or human civilization in the Stone Age. And there's episode 2, there's this kind of power struggle going on between these two rivals within the tribe. It all centres around who can make fire. And then the Doctor and his companions get caught up in this power struggle, and the Doctor has been seen lighting a pipe, so he's regarded as being the key to getting the fire. But they're kind of locked away in the Cave of Skulls. And in the third episode, they escape from the Cave of Skulls, and they go through a forest. But then they're recaptured. And in the final episode, they use fire themselves as a way of escaping the Cave of Skulls, and they manage to get back to the TARDIS. An Unearthly Child is it's a really interesting way to start this long-running series, and of course the first episode, as I've said, is fantastic. Perhaps the rest of the story isn't quite up to the level of that first episode. Of course, it would be very difficult to do that. But it certainly must have piqued the interest of the original audience to think, where would the next story be, and what time period would it be? Would it be on another planet even? And of course, that's where it is. It's on Skaro, and we see the cliffhanger at the end of this story. So some of the themes are quite interesting, about fire, about power, kind of grandfather-granddaughter relationship, about teachers and students, about imprisonment and escape as well, the dangers of the forest. There's quite a lot in there. It's got its perhaps slightly dull moments in the story, but overall it's a strong opener, and in particular the first episode is marvellous. Thank you for watching.